Welcome to the True Tomorrows podcast. I'm Adrian Smith, and I'm so glad you're here with us today to,
And I'm Julia Jones.
explore the frontiers of tech and the future.
I'm ready to explore all the science, the AI,
Yeah.
the twists and turns tomorrow might bring.
Think of this as your daily dose of what if, where we take a story
Yeah.
that's been inspired by the dark side of tech.
Okay.
We just got to break it apart and see
Yeah.
what's possible, what's science fiction.
We'll be your guides.
Yeah,
We'll help you separate what could really happen
absolutely.
with a little bit of humor and
Yeah, a little bit of fun.
a lot of curiosity.
Exactly.
So buckle up,
Okay.
because today we're diving into a story called Heartwood, where the lines between humanity and nature
Oh,
get seriously blurred.
I love that.
It's a world where people merge with trees to fight for survival against encroaching technology.
That's such a fascinating premise.
It is.
It really taps into all those anxieties we have today
Yeah.
about our relationship with the natural world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how far would we go to protect it?
Yeah.
Could technology ever really understand
Right.
or replicate that connection we have with nature?
Big questions.
Yeah, they are.
We're tackling them today. But first, let's set the stage.
Okay.
Heartwood starts with a group called the Wilderward,
Right.
who live in complete harmony with this protected forest.
They're like the guardians
Yeah.
of this ancient place,
Mm.
deeply connected to the trees and the magic that flows through them.
But their peaceful existence is threatened when a logging operation armed with all the latest tech
Oh,
sets its sights on their forest.
trouble.
You can almost feel the tension
Yeah.
as these two forces clash.
Right.
Advanced machines versus a community living in tune with nature.
It's like classic David and Goliath,
Yeah.
but with a futuristic magical twist.
Right.
And it makes you wonder, is technology
Mm.
inherently at odds with nature?
It's a good question.
Now, the Wilderward, they're not just going to sit back
Yo,
and watch their home be destroyed.
of course not.
They start with these subtle acts of resistance,
Okay.
almost like the forest itself is pushing back.
I love how the story describes it.
Yeah.
Like vines mysteriously tangling up the machinery
Yeah.
and saw blades suddenly rusting through. It's like
Yeah.
nature sending a warning.
It is a warning.
Yeah.
Hey, back off.
Exactly.
But these playful warnings,
Oh,
they escalate
okay.
when the loggers bring in their own secret weapon.
Oh, no. What is it?
City-bred mages
No.
who've learned to twist magic
No.
into cold, hard technology.
This is where it gets really interesting for me,
Yeah.
because we see how magic is usually associated with nature,
Right.
right? But it can be manipulated
Mm-hmm.
and used for destructive purposes, too. It's like a reflection of how technology
Yeah.
can be a double-edged sword.
Totally. And facing this new threat, the
Mm.
Wilderward realize
Mm.
they need to step it up. They got to up their game.
All right.
So they decide to perform this ancient ritual,
Interesting.
something that's been passed down through generations.
Okay.
And this ritual isn't about fighting fire with fire.
No.
It's about merging with the very essence of the forest,
Wow.
becoming one with it.
That's intense.
The story describes Maya merging with this giant oak tree,
Oh, wow.
her skin turning into bark,
Ooh.
and Theo transforming into this mass of flowering brambles.
That's such a vivid image.
It is.
It makes you wonder, what would it be like
Yeah.
to be so deeply connected to nature?
To have that kind of power.
Right.
And this is where Heartwood pushes the boundaries of our imagination.
Okay.
It asks us to consider the possibility of a connection so profound
Yeah.
that humans could become part of the natural world,
Wow.
not just protectors of it.
That's mind-blowing.
It is a mind-blowing concept.
It really is.
And it leads to this epic showdown that's unlike anything you'd expect.
Okay.
Instead of a battle of spells or technology,
Yeah.
it becomes a battle of being.
Whoa.
The forest itself fights back.
Wow. And we're left to ponder,
Yeah,
what are the implications of that?
right.
Is this a victory for nature?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there a cost to this merging?
So many questions. And before we dive deeper,
Okay.
I want to hear from you. What
Yeah.
resonated with you the most in this part of the story? What thoughts or questions are swirling in your mind?
Hold on to those thoughts,
Yeah.
because we'll be right back
We'll be back.
to unpack the climax of Heartwood
Yes.
and explore its profound message.
Absolutely.
We'll be back after this short break.
Welcome back to the True Tomorrows podcast.
We left off with the Wilderward
Yeah.
making a pretty big decision
They did.
to defend their forest.
They merged with the trees,
Yeah.
becoming a force of nature themselves.
They became the forest.
It's an incredible image.
It is.
And you imagine feeling the ancient strength of an oak
Oh, yeah.
coursing through you?
Yeah. Or the delicate resilience of 1,000 brambles. Right? It's like something out of a dream.
Totally. Or maybe a nightmare,
Yeah.
if you're one of the loggers.
Right, because they try to burn the forest down.
They do.
But their fire is met with this incredible resistance.
It's like the whole forest is fighting back.
It is. It's like the forest itself is sentient.
Yeah.
Alive.
Like we can barely understand.
In a way we can barely grasp.
And that's what's so captivating about this story.
It makes us think differently about consciousness.
It really does.
You know, we tend to think of intelligence as something purely human.
Right.
But Heartwood suggests that nature
Mm-hmm.
might have its own form of awareness.
Yeah, its own intelligence.
A wisdom born of centuries of deep time.
It makes you wonder what we're missing.
It does.
We're so focused on our technology.
Right, our screens and gadgets.
Yeah.
That we've lost touch with something more ancient.
More profound.
And more profound.
And that loss
Yeah.
could have serious consequences.
It could.
The Wilderward's transformation, as beautiful and powerful as it is,
Right.
it comes at a cost.
There's a price to pay.
They lose their human forms.
Their individual identities.
They become guardians of the forest.
Yeah.
But in a way,
Yeah.
they're prisoners of it too.
They're trapped.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice.
It is.
There's no doubt about that.
And it makes you think,
Raises so many questions.
what does it mean to be human?
Yeah. Is there a point where our connection to nature
Mm.
could actually eclipse our own individuality?
Those are some deep philosophical waters.
They are.
But that's what good science fiction does.
I think so.
It makes us think about the big questions.
Yeah.
The ones that don't have easy answers.
And especially in a world where technology is advancing so quickly,
Oh, absolutely.
at such a rapid pace.
It's more important than ever to consider these questions.
It is.
What are we willing to sacrifice
Yeah.
in the name of progress?
Right. Are there lines we shouldn't cross?
Heartwood doesn't give us all the answers.
But it offers a powerful warning.
It does.
It suggests that unchecked technological advancement could lead us down a path where the only way to protect nature
Yeah.
is to become one with it,
Wow.
to give up part of ourselves.
It makes you think about
It does.
real-world environmental activism.
Yeah.
Think about the people
Yeah.
who put their bodies on the line
Mm.
to block pipelines or chain themselves to trees.
They're fighting for what they believe in.
They are.
They're not literally merging with nature,
Right.
but there's a similar dedication,
They're
a willingness to sacrifice.
to sacrifice their comfort,
Yeah, even freedom.
even freedom for a cause they believe in.
That's a great point.
And it shows that Heartwood's themes
Mhm.
aren't just abstract concepts.
Okay.
They have real-world resonance.
They do.
You see people every day making choices,
Mhm.
big and small,
Yeah.
that reflect their values and their commitment
Mhm.
to protecting the environment.
So think about your own relationship
Yeah.
with technology and nature.
Where do you draw the line?
What sacrifices are you willing to make?
What are you willing to give up for the planet?
These are questions worth pondering
They are.
because the choices we make today
Yeah.
will shape the legacy we leave for future generations.
Exactly. What kind of world
Mm.
will we leave behind?
A world of concrete and steel?
Right.
Or a world where nature still has a voice?
A power that we respect.
Yeah, and even revere.
That's a powerful image.
And before we wrap up this discussion of Heartwood,
Yeah.
I want to delve into another fascinating aspect of the story.
Okay.
This concept of deep ecological connection. We've talked about sacrifice. We've talked about blurred lines between humanity and nature. But what about this idea of deep ecological connection?
It feels like the heart of Heartwood.
It does.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
And it's a concept that resonates far beyond just fiction.
Yeah.
Many indigenous cultures have emphasized this,
Yeah.
this idea of interconnectedness, of humans being part of this larger web of life,
Yeah.
not separate from it.
It challenges our modern worldview,
It does.
where we often see nature as something to be
Right.
exploited or controlled.
Dominated.
Heartwood takes this to the extreme,
It does.
showing us what happens when that connection is broken.
When technology is used to exploit the natural world.
Right, and it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
are we already on that path?
It's possible.
We see deforestation pollution climate change,
Yeah.
all stemming from this disconnect.
The disconnect between humanity and nature.
But there's a glimmer of hope in Heartwood.
There is.
The Wilderward, they show us the potential for a deeper, more harmonious relationship.
Right.
It's almost like they're embodying a future
Yeah.
where technology and nature aren't at odds,
They're in balance.
but in balance.
Where we use our ingenuity to support nature,
Right.
not destroy it.
That's a future worth striving for.
Absolutely.
And it starts with recognizing the interconnectedness of all things.
Understanding that our actions have consequences that
Yes.
ripple far beyond ourselves.
So as we wrap up this discussion of Heartwood,
Okay.
I want to leave you with this thought.
All right.
What if the key to solving our environmental challenges
Yeah.
lies not just in new technologies, but in a shift in our mindset?
What if we embrace the wisdom of indigenous cultures?
Yeah.
The understanding that we're a part of nature, not apart from it.
What if, instead of trying to conquer nature,
Yeah.
we learn to listen to it,
To collaborate with
but
it.
collaborate with it? That's the challenge
It is a challenge.
that Heartwood throws down.
And it's one that we all need to grapple with.
It is. And on that note, we'd like to thank you
Yes.
for joining us on this episode of the True Tomorrows podcast.
We hope this deep dive into Heartwood,
Has given you some food for thought
some questions to ponder.
about technology and the natural world.
Remember, the future is not set in stone.
It's not.
We have the power to shape it, to choose the path we want to take.
So keep questioning,
Yeah.
keep exploring,
Yeah.
and keep those imaginations firing.
Because on True Tomorrows,
Yes.
we uncover new captivating tales every day.
Be sure to rate and follow
For more
for more fascinating stories.
from the edges of tomorrow
Until next time, keep looking ahead.
to True Tomorrows.